Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Off-Farm Income Podcast. Hey, thank you so much for joining us here on our YouTube channel for episode number 943. Well, hey, today we're going to take you out to the woods of Missouri. We're going to be speaking with a young man from Laclede County High School. Mr. Isaac Norris is coming on the show. He's going to be talking to us all about working in his father's logging business and how he plans to take that over and be a business owner himself at some point in the future, and all the different certifications he is achieving already while going through the FFA and in high school to prepare him for this career. I think you're really going to enjoy it, and we're going to get that started for you right now. Isaac, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. It's my pleasure to speak with you, and I am looking forward to finding out what you've been doing there for your supervised agricultural experience. Can I just ask you a few questions about you to kind of get to know you to start off?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Well, so where are you talking to us from right now? Where are you at?
Lebanon, Missouri.
Lebanon, Missouri. Okay. And you're currently a junior at Laclede County High School there?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's in Conway, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Lebanon must be close to Conway, I'm assuming. Somewhat.
They're pretty close, yeah.
Okay, pretty close. Now, do you live on a farm? Do you live in town or something kind of in the middle of those two?
I wouldn't call it a farm, but we don't live in town. We just kind of got a house out around covered in woods.
Okay. So woods all around you. Do any hunting out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. How's this season gone for you so far?
I tagged out like last night.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I killed 2 does.
Very cool. Good for you. Hey, putting some meat in the freezer.
Oh yeah.
See, I live in Idaho, and Idaho is so much different than hunting whitetails, back in your part of the country. So here we can maybe get one extra deer tag, but that's it. But you get one deer tag a year. I've hunted down in Texas a couple times, never in Missouri. But in Texas, you buy a tag, and I think it comes with 3 doe tags and 2 buck tags or something like that, if I remember right. So it sounds like it must be close to the same in Missouri.
Yeah, you can kill 2 bucks here in Missouri. One of them's got to be with the bow, though.
Oh, and one's with the bow. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you bow hunt or just rifle hunt?
I can bow hunt. I haven't been yet, but I probably will.
Yeah.
Alternative season.
Oh, very cool. Man, that's fun. Good times. Well, so now you're a junior there. How long have you been part of the FFA?
Since my freshman year.
Okay. So, what brought you into it? Why did you want to join the FFA?
I don't really know. It just seems like something I could do.
All
took
right.
like the 2 pre-ag classes in junior high, and I liked them, so I just stuck with it.
Okay, so you liked the ag classes. It seemed like something to do, and you signed up again for your junior year. So it must have been the right decision. You must be enjoying it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good for you. And is there any particular part? Like, is it the CDEs, or is it the public speaking, or SAE? What part about do you like?
It's kind of the contest teams. That's what I like doing, and the SAE, because what I do for my SAE, it's just going to help me further my career.
Okay, yeah. Isn't that cool that you can kind of get started with that during high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very cool. Well, good for you. That's great. And so you're in your junior year, and what else do you do? Outside of FFA, outside of hunting?
That's really about it.
Okay.
I work, really.
Okay. All right, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, right? Doing some forest management type stuff. That's your placement SAE?
Kind of. I more consider it. It's placement because I work with my dad.
Okay.
But it's logging.
Got it. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Well, I am eager to talk to you about this. I'll explain why in a second. So let's do this. I always love to acknowledge our FFA advisors. Who is that for you?
Mary Ann Keck and Joseph Stratton.
Okay. Thank you so much for acknowledging them. And let's talk about your supervised agricultural experience. So I know you said it's placement because you're working with your father and you're doing some logging. Yeah. So tell me what that looks like. How many days a week are you working? What kind of work are you doing?
I work 5 days a week out in the woods, and if I have to, I'll go overtime Saturday. We don't work Sunday.
Okay. So if you have to, does that just mean if there's work to be done that hasn't been accomplished that week?
Not really work to be done. If like a machine needs worked on, we'll go
Mhm.
work on it Saturday. If
Okay.
it breaks down Friday or hydraulic leak or something, we'll go in Saturday morning and fix it.
Okay. And now, is this your father's business?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. What's the name of it?
Norris Logging LLC.
Okay, Norris Logging LLC. Very cool. Now, the reason I said I was eager to hear about this is, God, probably 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I did an interview with a gentleman, I think from Tennessee, so not Missouri, but just next door, who had a mobile like slabbing or a mobile sawmill. That's what he had. So he towed it around, and then with hydraulics, he could lift the logs up on the sawmill, and he could mill lumber for people. And a lot of people like this because when they did forestry on their own property, they cut down trees. He would come out, he'd mill it into lumber. Then they could use the lumber from their own property to build pens, barns, even in their homes and stuff like that. Now, are you guys on the front end of that where you're taking the trees down, or are you doing any milling of lumber?
We don't do milling of lumber. We'll haul it off to a big sawmill.
Okay.
That'll make like blocking and stuff.
Okay. And is it custom forestry? Like are landowners calling you guys and saying, hey, we need trees removed on our place? Yeah. How does it work?
It's not necessarily trees removed because we only take certain trees because you can't take the little trees. Because if you take the little trees, it'll kill everything.
Okay. And so how do you get your work? Are you working for other people on their property?
Yeah. They'll call us and say they have trees, and we'll go look at them, and then we'll write them a contract.
Okay.
So the trees are like ours.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you're like buying those trees from them?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you buy them obviously at a reduced rate. You fall them. You clean them up. You skid them out and haul them to the mill. Do I have it right?
You got to buck them.
Got to buck them. Okay. I think I was looking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got to like cut them up and all. Because necessarily, if you cut a tree down, you don't have a log because the logs are in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
kind of something like that.
So when you're bucking them, what lengths are you bucking them
to? 8 foot for sawmill logs and 10 foot for staves.
Okay. Interesting. 8 foot and 10 foot. And so obviously you're serving a certain market at the lumber mill because they're making boards obviously that are longer than 8 foot. But for you, that's what you guys are providing.
Yeah.
Now, the length at which you cut them down to, does that have to do with the equipment that you have and your ability to haul them? Or is it just because they only want 8 foot long logs?
I don't really know how. I'm trying to think how to explain that.
Okay.
I might have the lengths wrong because we don't buck them with like a normal chainsaw. We got a machine with a claw and it'll come pick them up and you set them on kind of platform and it cuts them.
Okay.
But I think it's either 8 foot by 10 foot or 10 foot by 12 foot. One of those two.
Okay. Gotcha. And so that length, is that length chosen by the sawmill or is that chosen by the equipment you guys have and your ability to haul?
That's chosen by sawmill.
Gotcha. Okay. Very interesting. Now, what types of trees are you after? Are they hardwoods? Are they pines? What are we talking about?
Most of the stuff we cut down is hardwood, so like oak, walnut.
Okay.
And that's really what it is here.
Okay. And then what are your responsibilities when you go out? You said you're doing it 5 days a week. So what are your jobs?
I'll sit at the loader. That's what the thing that cuts them, that bucks them up. I'll sit there and I'll trim any limbs that they missed, or I could go out and I top them sometimes.
Okay.
So I'll like cut the tree top off.
Okay. All right. So you're cleaning them up, you're topping them, and what length of bar on chainsaw are you running?
26. I don't need a huge bar because I'm not going out. I can't cut them down yet.
Okay. And are you, as far as you being able to cut them down at this point, is that just a matter of training? Is that like a state law that you're not old enough to do that in this industry yet? What's the limitation there?
I can, but my dad does not want me to until I get my professional timber harvester, which I can get that. I'm thinking about getting that in the spring.
Okay. So Dad is saying, just slow down. You'll get there, basically.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, so I had a friend show me how to fall trees, and you cut the. And by the way, I'm going to show my ignorance here in this statement, but you cut the wedge out, and then you cut the other side, and it's supposed to fall a certain direction. And so I thought that I'd figured out how to do that, and I needed firewood one year, and we always go up into the national forest where I live, and we cut firewood and buck it all up, bring it home, split it, do all of that. But I mean, that's a big day, and sometimes it's hard to find good wood in certain areas. So I thought I'd be really creative. I put an ad on Craigslist down here where I lived and said if people needed trees fallen at their place, I'd come fall their tree and take care of it in exchange for the firewood. And so I put this ad out there, and the first tree I fell on top of somebody's house. So I'm not a very good directional faller. So what I'm getting at is your dad is smart to make you wait and learn, because, man, that was a bad day.
Yeah.
Luckily, it wasn't a very heavy tree, and I did not damage the house. But I didn't know that until after I got it off the house. And I was a little bit worried there for a minute. I assume you would be too.
That's very fair.
Yeah, that is very fair. So yeah, that's really interesting. So now, what is this certification you said you might get this year?
Professional timber harvester, and that's basically you can cut them down. You're a professional at cutting the trees down.
Okay.
But that's just one of the steps in becoming like a master logger. That's what it's called.
Okay. Okay, very good. Now, you said that one of the things you enjoyed about FFA was that while you're doing your supervised agricultural experience, you get to work on your future career. So are you looking forward and thinking that logging is what you'd like to do for a living after high school?
Yeah, I'm thinking as soon as I get out of high school, I'm just going to work real hard at that and eventually take over the business.
Very cool. Man, that's great. Now, do you have siblings that are out there working with you as well, or is it just you and your dad?
It's just me, my dad, and then we got 2 guys with us right now that'll help or work with us.
That is great. Good for you, man. That's exciting that you've kind of got that lined out and you're already working on your certifications. What's your favorite part of this work?
It's just being kind of outside, like in the woods and stuff. That's where I always enjoyed to be, and that's where I am. Yeah,
that is great. So fresh air, smells good, and you're not boxed in by a cubicle somewhere.
Yeah.
That's great. Man, that's cool, Isaac. I can picture it right now, and I am excited for you. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing this with us today.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you for being here, everybody. Thank you to Isaac Norris for coming on the Off-Farm Income Podcast today and sharing his story with us. And hey, as always, enjoy your journey to the ultimate lifestyle business, agriculture.